This is important. It's the first time they're talking about it. I've been working with the sheriff's office for a few weeks now. Even when I was home on vacation, this case has been unfolding as Christmas went on, and we know that this is not where it ends. We knew that Mike and Kerri Abatti were going through a divorce, and there was a battle over financial assets happening over this past year. But today we learned it was video surveillance of Mike Abatti's home and farming business locations and digital evidence that led detectives to him as the only suspect in the case. This morning, Navajo County Sheriff David Clouse gave a bit of a timeline. Kerri Abatti was found shot inside her Pinetop home on November 20th, and the sheriff confirmed Kerri's nephew, who lived on the property with her, was the one who found her and made that 911 call. The sheriff says they secured and searched the large Pinetop home for 4 days, then took their investigation to Centro, California just 3 days later, where they interviewed many people and started developing leads that included Kerri's ex-husband, Mike Abatti. Now, Mike operates a large farming business and owns multi-million-dollar properties across the country. His business and California home were among 3 areas the sheriff says they searched and were able to name him as a suspect from there. Detectives believe, based on evidence, he traveled from California to Arizona, shot his wife, then traveled back to California pretty quickly. 2 days before Christmas, a grand jury was presented with all of this evidence and indicted Mike Abatti for first-degree murder. While they couldn't go into too much detail, the sheriff did say the divorce and separation has come up many times in this investigation.
Family was interviewed, children were interviewed, friends and co-workers and all associates that were in and around Kerri and Michael's lives. A lot of information was obtained. Separation from family and how they were being drawn out. And everyone had different inputs, but as much factual information, just kind of their interpretation.
The sheriff also said he's seen the reports Mike Abatti tried to take his own life and confirmed there was a call for service on November 23rd, 3 days after Kerri was killed, but he would not provide any more information other than that as of now. So as for extradition, Mike Abatti is still sitting in an Imperial County, California jail, but has waived extradition. That means the Navajo County Sheriff confirms they've already initiated the process to go get him from California. He should be here in Arizona to face the charges pretty shortly.
So why did it take so long to make this arrest if they were already hot on his trail here?
Yeah, a couple of different things. So there's been a chief deputy I've worked with on this case too. He said that they found notable items of evidence, things that they were testing from those search warrants in California. They needed to bring that back and have it tested. Now, what kind of testing? Obviously forensic testing, but what they were looking for or found, they probably were waiting for some of that to come back to bolster the case. The other aspect here is, you know, a sheriff's office can go to a judge, get a problem, do it right before Christmas. That's usually a more secretive process, but it's more following protocol for prosecutors. They want that. It helps basically leave no chance to the case. We're talking high profile in a small town across state lines. It's more foolproof to have that grand jury do it, but it all happened right around Christmas. And so it was kind of one of those things that shocked the community even more, that it was unfolding in real time as most families were celebrating the holidays.
What a case that is continuing to unfold, really.
It's going to be my next big case. I mean, we're going to be doing this for a while. So lots to come.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.